So, I have a problem on my hands. I have never seen Reservoir Dogs. I know, crazy, right? And you want to hear something even crazier? I haven't seen Pulp Fiction either.
Move this man!
I know. So this obviously needs to change. Question is, which one should I watch? But much like you, dear viewer, I am incapable of making any decision on my own. So how to solve this problem? What movies should I watch? Well, obviously, the solution is simple. We have our first movie showdown. Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are going to go head-to-head in a deadly battle, as my friends try and convince me which movie to watch. So welcome to the first ever episode of Film Face-Off. Welcome back to another episode of Free Talk Friday, where literally anything can happen. For example, I thought we were going to talk about Miley Cyrus movies, but here we are, joined by my good friend Mal.
What's up? Mal's in the house. I'm starting a new DJ career. It's not
Not expecting that. And joined by my other co-host, Trav.
What up, dogs?
Yeah, that sounds like more like Travis. So anyway, well, we were coming up with all kinds of ideas of what we were going to do this week, and like I said, I was very much so trying to, streamline the whole Miley Cyrus movie thing, because honestly, she's got some bangers, not talking about, her album bangers, but just like in general, like bangers.
Hannah Montana, yo.
Hannah Montana movie is a great movie, but
It's
then
not.
my point is that as we were thinking about this, I had just happened to say that I had never seen Pulp Fiction, and then I had also happened to say that I have never seen Reservoir Dogs, and then these two just kind of erupted like a volcano of dogs attacking each other. And fiction and reservoirs and things of that nature.
I would have to say the news hit me like a wrecking ball.
You sneaky devil. That's also such a beautiful song. Anyway, so what better way than to kind of like put these two together? Because honestly, what I know of each movie is very, very minimal. I've never seen all of them. I've seen a little bit more of Pulp Fiction because it's just hard to like avoid scenes from Pulp Fiction.
Very true.
But Reservoir Dogs, I've always been very intrigued with because of the fact that it is Quentin Tarantino's first ever movie, and I'm a color guy. So if you name people after colors, I'm immediately going to be all about that. And also, you put Steve Buscemi in anything, I'm going to be all over that too, right?
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
This is like a spoiler-free pitch because you
okay.
haven't seen the movie, so I don't think it's a good idea for us to ruin the movies.
Okay.
I mean,
so none of them are ghosts in the end?
No.
And none of them are aliens?
No.
And it's not a dream in any of them?
No.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Then I'm down. Okay.
There are some pretty wild theories about Pulp Fiction and what's in the briefcase.
We happy? Vincent!
I know about that. Pulp Fiction's kind of like crazy. Everybody talks about that movie, but...
But yeah, I'll start. I'll start
Okay.
with Reservoir Dogs, which is my pick for the movie that Adam should watch.
Started off where Quentin Tarantino started it off.
That's a big point of my argument too. And also, Reservoir Dogs was the first Quentin Tarantino movie that I watched.
Oh.
So it would be kind of poetic if we go on this journey together.
Okay.
So yeah, a little bit of an origin story about Reservoir Dogs. There was a video store in the town that I grew up with. How I grew my DVD collection as a teenager working a part-time job was they had buy 2 movies, get a 3rd movie for free.
Ooh.
Was that at Blockbuster?
No, that was at the Video Time 2.
Video Time 2. Oh, at Bayfield?
No, at
Kozlov.
No one cares about these details.
I'm more interested about what happened to Video Time 1.
That's what I always thought too.
Where's Video Time? What?
So one of the big arguments for me pitching this movie to you already touched on, is I know you love colors, and everyone in this movie is named a color.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink.
Why am I Mr. Pink?
I can't express how simple my mind is.
Unfortunately, there's no Mr. Purple.
No, I know.
So there is
Mr. Pink, though, I heard.
Mr. Pink.
That's Steve Buscemi.
And that's Steve Buscemi, and I think that's just great.
Steve Buscemi's character is an absolute tank in this movie.
Cool.
He steals the show with the opening scene.
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses.
These criminals kind of chilling before the heist, and
Doesn't that happen in Pulp Fiction too?
it does. It happens in every single Quentin Tarantino
Oh,
movie.
really?
But I feel like there's the most of it in this one because
Oh.
this was his first movie, and that was what he really wanted to do when he made movies. He just wanted to have a lot of people like talking and have these really intense action scenes, which Quentin Tarantino has become iconic for, having this like really concentrated moments of intense action in his movies. And Reservoir Dog is kind of where that all started too, right? So
Okay.
and I think Reservoir Dogs,
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs singular.
There's
no.
more. There's only one dog.
I'm arguing for this movie because it's raw Quentin Tarantino.
This is before he really, like, I'd like to think that if you're watching Reservoir Dogs and then you're watching, like, whatever movie he's making these days, like, I feel like there's there's a more of a difference. Like, you could obviously make the argument that, like the time, like, it's a completely different time when he made Reservoir Dogs compared to something right now. The technology is different and shit. But, like, I still feel as though, like, when you're watching somebody make their first movie, no matter what time period it's in, it's, like, always going to be something that's, like, different than something that they've made later on in life. So it's always interesting and fascinating to me to, like, go back and to see, like, what somebody was thinking before, I guess. Not necessarily, like, that his fame and success changed him as a director, but, like, it's nice to see, like, where people, like, completely started out. And that's, like, a big thing for me, too, so.
No, and like I think that's a big point of my argument as well. Is like Quentin Tarantino movies, like these days, have kind of become a little self-indulgent.
Yes.
He definitely has.
Tends to suck his own wiener a little bit, I feel, in some of his newer movies. But
Well, I mean, if the wiener looked like a foot, then yeah.
no, but that's a good point because of what you said. It's his first movie, so his ego is not involved whatsoever because it's just like you're not who you are today. So it makes for really good filmmaking.
But in Reservoir Dogs, he also had something to say. Not to say he doesn't now.
No.
But it's like in that movie, he couldn't just make it because he's Quentin Tarantino. He actually had to really try and make it a movie that would fit into, like, I guess, the zeitgeist of filmmaking at the time, right? Like, he couldn't make, like, a 4-hour movie about guys talking in a salon that doesn't go anywhere.
No,
Once Upon a
absolutely.
Time in Hollywood or whatever.
No, that was Hateful Eight. I
Yeah,
was
the
referencing.
Hateful Eight.
Oh, Hateful Eight is
Yeah.
4 hours long? Like,
Well, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
oh my God. I've
It gets-
never.
It
Is
gets
it good?
And it's literally pretty much all one set.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about that movie, but, like, is it good?
I like it, but it's definitely not, in my opinion, not his strongest movie.
If you're looking at it as a movie that isn't, like, just as its own movie, I guess
I like
it's
it
just a
better
good
than
movie.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, shitter.
I literally almost turned off that movie.
Wow.
Halfway through, I was like, you know what? I don't really care.
You
I
like
will-
that movie more than Reservoir
I
Dogs?
will give
That's
you
crazy.
this. It took me Reservoir Dogs I've seen throughout about 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I watch it, I'm just like, maybe this is going to be the time that I'm going to like this movie. And then I don't end up liking it. I mean, I like aspects of the movie because it's Quentin Tarantino and I like how he does certain things, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain things with the movie that I really don't like and could care less about. It was the same with Hateful Eight. I watched that movie like 3 or 4 times, and it wasn't until the 4th time where I was like, okay, I see why I like this movie, like and why it's growing on me. So hey,
'cause
maybe
your brain-
number 5 for Reservoir Dogs.
It's because your brain turns off after, like, the 3rd hour. You're just like, and then it's just like, oh, the movie was all right. I don't think any movie ever should be that long. I don't think any movie ever in the history of ever should be longer than 3 hours. Fuck you. I don't care. The average human being has to go to the washroom every 4 hours. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I don't think it's quite 3 hours. I think it's like 2 hours.
I know. I'm not bagging on that specific one, but, like, there are movies that are long as shit. Yeah, even if it's an Avengers Marvel movie, that's, like, too fucking long, dude.
Yeah, but those movies never feel that long, though. Hateful Eight felt like it was 4 hours long after an hour in.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. That's like, okay, you know what's cool? Because I know enough people have their love for Reservoir Dogs and hate for Hateful Eight, so it's like I know enough to know that what you said is a little out of the left field there. So
Yeah,
you better watch yourself, bro.
At the same time, though, I think it's like kind of hilarious how it took you, like, what'd you say, 4 times? And this is like it is 3 hours, 3 hours and 7 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
For
3 hours and
Hateful
7
Eight?
minutes.
For Hateful Eight.
Okay.
So that you had to watch 9.5 hours of that movie before you learn to appreciate it.
Yes.
How long is
So
Reservoir
maybe if you
Dogs?
watch 9 hours of Reservoir Dogs, which is like 6
Well, I've already
watchings.
watched it like 4 times, so that's we're already almost there.
So Reservoir Dogs, character-driven, raw Quentin Tarantino.
Absolutely.
Gets to the point.
Colors.
And you talk about like characters. I know you like characters.
Yeah, I'm all
You're a
about characters.
You're a character guy, and this movie is all about the characters. It goes into most of the characters' backstories.
What's like the point of this movie?
So it's kind of about like these criminals who do a heist.
Okay.
And everything goes wrong. But the main focus of the movie is like the hours after the crime happens and fails.
Is time linear?
Reservoir Dogs does not follow a linear path. It does start right after the crime, but then it jumps around.
Okay.
But it jumps around into 2 kind of time spaces.
Quentin Tarantino does like to do that.
What happens after the crime and then what happens before the crime. It is not like Pulp Fiction where
you're going
you
everywhere,
don't
yeah.
really
Okay.
know
Okay.
what is happening and jumps all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good intro to Quentin Tarantino because if like you see Pulp Fiction, like it's like an iconic movie, but like if you see Reservoir Dogs, I feel like it allows you to appreciate Pulp Fiction more.
Okay. Okay.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and that's kind of my argument. And that's like basically all I got. It's a good introduction.
Without spoiling anything, and you pretty much essentially explain to me what happens. And I know that Steve Buscemi's in it. I know there's another guy that's in it. There's a scene where he's like dancing.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah, and I love this. And I've seen that. I've seen that scene, and I know what happens in that scene. That was very compelling.
If somebody loses a body part.
Yeah, I know they lose a.
He loses
an ear. Yeah, I know that. That's not too bad.
So yeah,
I can handle that shit.
And so to cap it off, Reservoir Dogs, you got Harvey Keitel, Michael Madsen, Steve Buscemi, Tim Roth.
Oh, Tim Roth. Wow.
Larry.
That's your biggest gripe with the movie.
Oh, I mean,
go ahead.
Don't spoil anything, but what?
Like that, I just don't.
Actually, go ahead.
My biggest gripe is not how he says that line. My biggest gripe is his acting in that movie. Like I really don't like
Tim Roth
in that movie.
Really? That's crazy.
That's why I can't watch the
he's
movie.
usually
He
really
kills
good in
it for me.
everything.
Steve Buscemi is the best part about that movie.
Yeah.
Besides, I mean, Harvey Keitel's is always fucking.
It's hard
incredible.
for Harvey Keitel to miss
Michael
anything.
May, like he's also really, really good.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah, like always good in Quentin Tarantino movies, but Harvey Keitel was kind of like the only known real person
At the time,
back then.
yeah.
Like everybody else was kind of not really that.
I do really like movies when they were like the actors were super not famous yet. I'm
no,
a
they
fan
weren't.
of that too.
No. And they kill it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, except like, and I'm not saying that he doesn't do a good job. Like you know what I mean?
I think you can like an actor can
Yeah.
do a good performance, and
yeah.
you can also not like the performance that they give.
That's exactly.
I feel like that's like 70% of Al Pacino movies for me.
Really okay.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another. Let's keep that in mind for the Free Talk Friday.
Give me all you got.
So final thought though, Reservoir Dogs ensemble cast.
I know it
you
does
love
sound.
ensemble
I do love
casts.
ensemble casts, and also like it all just sounds
So is
really,
Pulp
really
Fiction,
awesome.
though.
But yeah, I was gonna say I know Pulp Fiction is as well. So Tar Pits, you tell
That's
me.
actually funny because I actually enjoy Tim Roth's character in Pulp Fiction.
That's so funny. He is an
Yeah.
Australian guy, right? All right, so hit me, Tar Pits.
Well, I mean, my only argument that I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to mic drop, is Danny Zuko is in the movie, so watch it.
Okay, listen. You can't just tell me that friggin' John Travolta's in it too. You know what's funny? That like the swing scene. That's another thing. Like I know more about Pulp Fiction than Reservoir Dogs because Pulp Fiction is like this iconic movie
staple
that has
of-
so many like posters and fucking
It's cemented in pop culture.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so it's really hard to like argue against that. But then again, I'm also like an underdog kind of guy, right? So if something gets too powerful, I immediately start hating it.
You underestimate my power.
But anything else other than
I'm
well,
just kidding. That's
Caleb, like the
obviously
thing is,
my
I was gonna say
argument.
you can't. If you said Kaneki
Kaneki was in it, then I'd be
as
like, okay,
well,
shit. Well,
if you said Kaneki, I forget what his Jeff Conway was in it. I would have been like, okay, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he
You guys
passed.
are talking about fucking Grease.
you did, oh yeah. Well, you
And
It
we're
just
g-
clicked.
That's amazing.
Fucking Grease.
Yeah, no idea what the
That's
fuck we were
awesome.
talking about.
I
We're gonna
hate Grease.
We are going to talk about Grease. Believe me.
How do you hate that?
So let's hear what we got to say about Pulp Fiction there, Travis.
because I know which Quentin Tarantino movies you enjoy, like Inglourious Basterds is one of your favorites. Django.
Nothing's gonna beat Inglourious Basterds, but like that's not my fault. That's just because of my background and how much I love everything about that movie.
So yeah, because you like those movies, I would say that you would probably like Pulp Fiction more than Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh.
The storytelling is really good. You like character development. Obviously, Reservoir Dogs has great character development too, but this movie does as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, even though it's all over the place, the pacing is still really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he does that. Like, that's his genius, I guess.
Okay.
And I also think that, like, you're really gonna like the parts with like Vincent and Sam Jackson.
Jules.
Yeah, Jules. Thank you.
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
Their chemistry together is really, really. I wish, like, sometimes when I watch that movie that
It was
more
just
of the
that.
movie was just them,
Yeah.
because they're really, really good together.
Because it follows like 2 or 3 different storylines, but they all intermingle.
There's 4 different storylines, and each time a storyline is introduced, you're kind of wondering where does this fit in to all the other events in the story, and there are clues within what happens during the story that kind of tell you where they lie. And at the end of the movie, it kind of
They kind of crash together.
Yeah.
Who's in Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction. Well, you got John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Tim Roth, Bruce Willis. I can never remember the dude who plays what's his face though.
Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames.
Like, I remember the first time I saw Pulp Fiction was like parts with Vincent and Thing when they were in the apartment, and like they get the suitcase and all that shit. And then I didn't finish it and I shut it off. And then like a year later, I saw the scene with the gimp and all that shit. And I didn't even know I was watching the same movie.
Different movie.
I thought I was watching a different movie.
Damn, Quentin Tarantino got dark in this movie.
Yeah, like it's kind of all over the place. But I think that's why you'll like it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, too, I mean, like, yes, Reservoir Dog. I said
Everybody's
dog too.
saying it.
Reservoir Dogs is his debut picture and everything, but this is only his second movie, so you know, the whole his ego being out of it is
So wait,
there.
Pulp Fiction is the second movie that he made?
Yes.
So Reservoir Dogs is the first movie. Okay, that kind of changes everything. I was like kind of biased on Reservoir Dogs because it's like the first one, and I thought Pulp Fiction came out like after he did like, I guess, like a Kill Bill movie or something like that.
No.
I know it's right after that shit.
Yeah, no, it's like right after Reservoir Dogs.
Well then.
So yeah, again,
that
like
complicates things a bit.
You know, Reservoir Dogs did good, but I don't think it, like, you know, people were surprised when a new, you know, director hit a
New
fucking
Hope.
movie out of the park. But like, I don't think it cemented him as like, oh, now Quentin Tarantino is like the best director ever.
Not at all.
When he made Pulp Fiction, he was still really, really trying to, like, you know, do a great film and do something that really hasn't been done before.
It was almost easier to make Pulp Fiction great because people saw him make Reservoir Dogs and was like, oh, hey, if we give this guy a little bit of support, what can we get out of him, right? So he was able to, like,
boy howdy,
make
did
Pulp
you ever
Fiction and make this, like, kind of iconic movie, whereas, like, Reservoir Dogs, he's, like, really trying to, like, he's really fighting against the current. He's, like, really trying to, like, get noticed. So underdog.
Absolutely.
God, it's like so they're both like the same fucking movie. They're not the same
No,
movie,
they're not
but
at
like
all.
I mean,
I know.
People argue, though, that they do happen in the same universe.
They have to. I'd like to think that everything happens in a universe that like Quentin Tarantino has created, just in like different timelines. Like,
because even one of the characters in Reservoir Dogs has the same last name as John Travolta's character
Pink?
in Pulp Fiction.
They're the same last name as what's his face?
Michael Madsen's
Yeah,
character.
they were like supposed to be brothers, right?
Oh, no
Cousins or
way.
something.
Cousins or brothers, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Been this, you know, getting the whole family business of, you know,
Yeah,
being a
I
gangster.
would definitely argue that it's in the same universe for sure.
If I was a director and I was known for making these movies, there would be no way in hell that I would not make my own universe. And have different characters with different little quirks and different little Easter eggs. Like, that would be the most fun thing in the world.
I mean, I
So-
think that's when you watch a director's body of work and they make it possible for you to imagine that all the movies happen in the same universe. It just makes it more like entertaining.
It
like,
does.
Like Kevin Smith's earlier movies, it was
100%.
called like the View Askew-niverse because that was their production company that it was under, and like all of those movies were made so much better because they were kind of like uplifted by each other.
The View Askew-niverse?
Yeah, his
That's
production
so
company was
fucking
called.
clever. That's
Production-
like almost as clever as fucking that fake ass fucking shit from Avatar. That fake unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
That's fucking clever, man. That's really good. I love words like that, man. That's beautiful.
Oh, Adam, simple man making his
Yeah,
way through
exactly,
the universe.
Where are we?
Where are we? Who am I?
Who am I?
All right, Trav, do you got anything else for
Do you have
Pulp
anything
Fiction?
else? Any final thoughts on both ends? Closing things you want to say?
No, I think I think you'll really like it, man. Kind of be almost like a party in the USA for you.
Oh, I can't. It's insane. What has become of one stupid joke that I thought would be funny at the beginning of this episode, and it is carried out. Miley Cyrus, if you are watching,
Which she isn't.
then I can say whatever I want, right?
Oh god.
Not really.
No, please, yeah. Yeah, my final arguments are I know you like character development. And
yeah,
I mean,
but there's character development in both movies.
there's-
There's colors in both movies in different ways.
that's what I mean, yeah.
They're both very similar, kind of like gritty fucking I'm gonna shoot you, not if I shoot you first, like movies, That's how those movies go, right? So it's kind of interesting.
This is my last argument. I think when you go into Reservoir Dogs, you kind of get what you're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go into Pulp Fiction, there's like little...
You leave with a different thing.
Yeah,
every
you're
single
like,
time.
you don't, like, you go in thinking you're going to watch something, and
Well-
then it kind of, like, leads you down a little bit of a different path.
Final
Yeah.
point for me, though,
Mhm.
is with Reservoir Dogs, yeah, it's more of your typical movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Pulp Fiction gives you a bit more than that. Something a little bit
A
different.
little bit of surprises here and there.
My counter argument is not in 2025 when Pulp Fiction has
Exhausted.
existed in the pop culture for so long, and
Yeah.
Adam basically already knows what's going to happen in the movie.
No, see, that's the thing. I think...
But I think the fact that it's not like linear and I haven't seen all of it
Yeah, that's
will
going to
add like I know for a fact if I watch Pulp Fiction from start to end, I will understand it. I'm not going to
Of
get
course.
confused because of the shit. And there's probably going to be a lot of stuff that I haven't seen because that movie's probably a long-ass movie, too. I'm assuming all Quentin Tarantino movies are long, except for Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is a bit shorter, yeah.
Yeah. But, first movie, right?
All right, here you
But
go. Decision time.
personally,
make a decision.
it feels, what's funny? It feels like I'm in, this whole entire time, I felt like I was in, a court case and, I was, battling for, custody of one child and then having to cast one child to the wolves.
Or making your child fucking testify against
Yeah,
the parents.
making your child finger the fucking whoever
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
He did it. Oh, cable guy. So the thing is, these both sound like incredibly compelling arguments, and I personally will watch both. However, I do think that the fact that Reservoir Dogs is the first movie that he ever came out with, I'm assuming, to the masses, I'm going to most likely have to give it to that.
Oh,
Simply because...
That's a really lame
Simply
excuse.
because I've seen, I've also...
After all that, you just go right back to your original.
No,
No, it came out first, so I'm gonna watch
Well,
that.
the thing is, a lot of, Pulp Fiction is also, kind of, been spoiled for me. For some reason, I don't know. It has nothing to do with your, arguments, by the way. I did my own fucking research. By the way, in life, make your own decisions. I just genuinely kind of feel more drawn to want to watch Reservoir Dogs, and I'm a stupid little cliche little bitch like that, where it's just it's the first movie he ever made, and I want to see. I'm assuming he made shit before Reservoir Dogs,
No.
but
not really.
so he's never in his life picked up a camera and went, "Hey, cousin, do this for me." And
No,
then,
because you couldn't do that.
that doesn't count as
This is a different time.
You couldn't
man.
do that at that time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make a movie, you had to go and rent film equipment
Mhm.
and get sound equipment. You had to go the whole 9 yards. It was really hard to just
You
kind
didn't
of.
just
So
have a
then that
fucking
kind of makes me
phone
even.
in your pocket. They could film in 4K and start a stupid fucking podcast with your friends.
Oh, man, I was hopeful at the beginning
Were
of
your
that, and then by the end
friends?
of it, yeah,
Were
yeah.
you Wait.
Thing is, I'm not trying to like discredit like Pulp Fiction or your argument or anything
No, I
like
think
that.
that's
I
exactly
just like, yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding.
If we're talking about the Big Lebowski, I'd be shitting all over it. But like, it's kind of like a big thing. Is like Steve Buscemi is in Reservoir Dogs too.
He's also in Pulp Fiction.
He is.
Yep.
What is he? Who does he play in Pulp
I
Fiction?
can't tell you. You're gonna have to watch it.
Where was that in your argument? I said who's in it, and he doesn't say Steve Buscemi. Okay, well either way.
He's not a big guy in it.
Nah.
That's why I didn't want to troll him, you dumbass.
Well, you didn't say it in the beginning.
That's
Well,
why.
I
I know. That's why I just said I can't tell you. Like,
Nothing was
you're gonna
spoiled.
watch it.
Nothing was spoiled. The only thing that was
Just know
spoiled
that
is that
Steve
like
Buscemi's
now I
in
know
it.
that Steve Buscemi is in it, and like I assumed that it was a small role, but
He's super small. He literally
Yeah.
plays the waiter,
nah. Okay, well either way,
and he's dressed up as anybody.
I
don't know,
can't even remember.
I've never
Buddy Holly.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh
Like-
my god, you're absolutely right. I totally forgot.
Yeah, that's a great scene. By the
Oh,
way.
so that means I should watch Pulp Fiction then.
No, you should definitely watch Reservoir
No,
Dogs.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch Reservoir Dogs, and I'm gonna get back to you on the next Free Talk Friday, and I'm gonna let you know what or should I watch both?
You could watch whatever you.
I'm gonna
if
watch
you-
Reservoir Dogs first,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I'm gonna watch Pulp Fiction,
And then tell us which one you actually like.
and then
better after you watch
afterwards I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Malcolm, you're an idiot," or "Malcolm, you're a genius," or
Travis, you're an idiot. or
"Travis, you're an
a
idiot," or
genius.
"Travis, you're an idiot." You know,
And hey, all of you out there in TV land,
in
Let
the
us
world,
know what you think.
tell me
Everybody
how
playing-
wrong I am.
Playing the home game, definitely let me know if I made the right decision. Let Malcolm know if he did a compelling argument, and let Travis know if he's wrong.
Please.
I don't know why it sounded mean that way, but it is true. Sorry. Also, check out the Monday show. We do movies.
Oh yes, every Monday we release a movie review episode. This week we just dropped Jaws.
We just dropped Yaws.
Yaws. Yeah, that was an inside joke.
so check it out. And until next time.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody.
Adios.
Bye.